So how long does it take to learn West Coast swings? Maybe you've been inspired to learn West Coast swing, which is why you're here on YouTube. I asked this question to Emily behind the camera, and her answer was, it depends. Depends on how much you practice, depends on your mindset, depends on how fast you learn. I asked Megan, who's sitting right over there, and she said, what do we usually tell people? 8 weeks, 3 months? So she says 3 months. Emily says it depends. I have 2 answers for you. 12 hours, but I'm going to show you how you can do it in 4 weeks. So when we usually say it takes like 8 to 12 weeks to learn West Coast swing, that's typically someone showing up to a group class, fumbling through footwork, feeling awkward. It's not very inspiring. But if you stay through around 8 to 12 hours, or 2 to 3 months if you're only going once a week, you will start to feel significantly better and you'll know how to West Coast swing. But in this video, I'm going to show you how you can do it in 4 weeks using 3 tools. There's 3 things you're going to need to tackle in learning West Coast swing. Number 1 is moving your feet through the basic patterns. And the good news is here in 2024, as we're making this video, we have video resources. So you can learn the footwork without a teacher, without a partner, all by yourself at 2 in the morning in your underwear if you so choose, right? So the first step is you want to learn your basic footwork to the push, the pass, and the whip. So the push would be, I'm talking leader's perspective, it's the same just in reverse for the followers, but I need to learn the push break or sugar push footwork, right? You can do that right here on YouTube, and I'm going to give you some awesome resources. Then you need to learn side passes, a left side pass for the leader and a right side pass for the follower, right? Then you're going to need to learn the other basic pattern, which is a whip. It's an 8-count pattern that you're going to need to learn the footwork to. So that's level 1, is you want to learn the footwork. And you can actually do that on your own in your living with the videos here on YouTube. I'm also going to give you an even better resource that's not on YouTube that's going to be awesome at the end of the video, so make sure you stay. That's level 1. So if you're doing that, you put in a little bit of time before you go to class. Now when you walk into class each week, you can just worry about the lead and follow, right? I have to lead and worry about the connections within the patterns. Or as the follower, I know my footwork because I've learned it here on YouTube. Now I need to learn to follow those patterns. So if you've learned the footwork on your own first, then when you go to that group class, all you need to do is worry about the lead and follow. And it's going to be foreign, and there's going to be music. Let me back up even and say, you can practice to music, and you should in your house. If you want some music resources, I will leave them here. I'll link them up in the corner. We have a practice playlist of stuff that you can just download and listen to that'll be great to practice to. So step 1 is learning your own footwork, preferably if you want to do this in 4 weeks, on your own, via video, in your living room, in your bedroom, before, and even better, right before you go to class. So if I'm going to go to class at 7 o'clock, I get off work, I practice some footwork, maybe I do it the night before so it's fresh in your brain. You're going to compress the learning. So then you get to class and you go, ha, got you. I know the side pass, I know the sugar push, I even know the whip. You kind of know the footwork. Now this is your time to practice leading and following and understanding. What's going to happen there is, I jokingly say, I'll teach you everything you need to know about West Coast swing in a 4-week beginner class. But like Megan said, it takes 2 or 3 months for people to hear that information, for it to sink in. But if you've already learned the basic footwork, now you're not going to be worried about left and right and triple steps and anchor steps and all these West Coast swing terms. You're going to kind of understand that a little bit. So now your brain will be open to the types of connections and where the hand goes and how to look at your watch for a side pass and all these things we're going to say, but it might take you 8 or 12 weeks to understand. Then the third element, and this is how you're going to compress those 12 hours of learning into 1 month. You spend about an hour fussing through the footwork here on YouTube and this cool video resource I'm going to give you at the end. Number 2, you go to your group class because you actually have to dance West Coast swing with people, right? So you learn the connections and stuff like that. And then the third part, a lot of your classes are going to include a social dance or a practice party afterwards. So now you've put in, on week 1, a week of learning your footwork, a week of learning the leads and follows, and then an hour of, did I say a week? An hour. Did I say a week? Yeah, no, 1 hour of time spent on your footwork, 1 hour of time spent in class learning to lead and follow the patterns and remember which one is which as the leader or follower, and then 1 hour of social dancing. Now this is weird, and so when we have our beginner classes and we have a social dance afterwards, you don't know a lot of patterns. So I'll give you a couple of tips for your first social dance. If the dance is an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours long, do not feel obligated to stay the whole time. If you do, awesome, right? You can talk to people, get to know people. That's one of the great things about this dance style. It's very social, but just commit to staying for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dances and do this. Tell people, hey man, I'm a beginner. I only know this pattern and this pattern and this pattern. And you'll find that people are super comfortable in dancing because they know exactly what you know. So if you're a follower and you say, hey, I'm new, I just know these moves, then the leader's likely going to lead just those moves or maybe just a little something above to kind of test your skill set, but not too much that it's going to get discouraging, right? So tell people what you know. Dedicate yourself to staying for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. As you learn more, you'll get more and more comfortable dancing. You'll be dancing with people that are better than you, and they'll help level up your game. So to recap, how long does it take? It depends, right? It depends on if you use this process or not. Megan's answer, 2 to 3 months. My answer, 12 hours. But if you compress the 12 hours and you dedicate 3 hours a week for 4 weeks, there's your 12 hours, and you know how to West Coast swing inside of a month. So you can feel confident, look good in the dance floor. Now I said I have 2 resources for you. Yes, you can learn the beginner patterns right here on YouTube. I'll link up our best beginner video here. But we also developed a course for beginners. It's only $7 and you can download it here. It includes the same basic patterns you have on YouTube, but what we do is we talk through much more detail about how to approach group classes. If you take private lessons, how to do that. How to approach social dancing. Some of the etiquettes that you're going to have around social dancing that you might have some, apprehension about, right? We're going to cover which patterns would you learn next. So let's say you're learning the footwork and you're practicing in your beginner class and you say, hey, someday I'm going to go to that intermediate class. What the heck do I have to know to be comfortable there? In our ultimate guide for beginners, we've added that there. It's only $7. You can download it right here or just watch this video here on YouTube. We'll see you on the dance floor soon.